Liberia is a country on the West African coast. Sierra Leone, Guinea, and the Ivory Coast border it. The estimated population of Liberia in 2026 is approximately 5.8 million, according to Worldometer. Liberia is considered the oldest country in Africa, having gained independence on July 26, 1847. It is recognized as Africa's oldest continuously independent country and was established as a republic by freed slaves from the United States. Liberia's colonial history is unique in Africa. The country was founded in the early 19th century by the American Colonization Society as a settlement for freed African Americans. In 1822, the first settlers arrived on the West African coast, establishing what would become the colony of Liberia. Unlike most African nations, Liberia was not colonized by a European power, but its formation was heavily influenced by American political and economic interests. The settlers, known as Americo-Liberians, established a society modeled on the United States, often dominating the indigenous peoples politically and socially. In 1847, Liberia declared independence, making it Africa's first modern republic. While the country avoided formal European colonization, it faced pressure and encroachment from Britain and France throughout the 19th century, leading to territorial concessions. Liberia's colonial experience reflects a complex blend of self-rule, foreign influence, and internal divisions between settlers and native populations, shaping the nation's political and social dynamics well into the 20th century. The Liberian Civil Wars were a series of two devastating conflicts that took place between 1989 and 2003, leaving the country politically fragmented and socially traumatized. First Liberian Civil War, 1989 to 1997. The First War began on 24 December 1989, when Charles Taylor's National Patriotic Front of Liberia invaded Liberia from the Ivory Coast to overthrow President Samuel Doe. The conflict quickly escalated into a brutal civil war involving multiple factions, widespread atrocities against civilians, and the collapse of central authority. Regional intervention was mediated by the Economic Community of West African States Monitoring Group, which sought to restore order. Doe was captured and killed in 1990, but factional fighting continued until a peace agreement allowed for elections in 1997, in which Taylor was elected president. Second Liberian Civil War, 1999 to 2003. The Second War erupted when rebel groups, the Liberians United for Reconciliation and Democracy, and later the Movement for Democracy in Liberia, launched attacks against Taylor's government. Violence spread rapidly, marked by mass displacement of civilians, child soldier recruitment, and human rights abuses. International pressure and United Nations involvement increased, leading to Taylor's resignation in August 2003 and his subsequent exile. A comprehensive peace agreement was signed that same year, and the United Nations mission in Liberia was deployed to stabilize the country. The conflicts killed approximately 250,000 people and displaced over 1 million. Liberia embarked on a long process of reconstruction, democratic transition, and reconciliation, with Ellen Johnson Sirleaf becoming the first elected female head of state in Africa in 2006. The Liberian Civil Wars remain a stark lesson in the human cost of political instability and factional violence. Here's a concise summary of the key Liberian presidents and their significance. Joseph Jenkins Roberts, 1848 to 1856 and 1872 to 1876. Joseph was the first president of Liberia and the first African American to serve as a head of state in Africa. He focused on establishing international recognition and trade relations. William V. S. Tubman, 1944 to 1971. Tubman is the longest-serving president, known for his open-door policy to attract foreign investment. He oversaw major economic growth and infrastructure development. William R. Talbert, Jr., 1971 to 1980. William promoted social reform and modernization. He was assassinated during a military coup led by Samuel Doe. Samuel Doe, 1980 to 1990. Doe was the first indigenous Liberian leader after a century of Americo-Liberian dominance. Authoritarianism, tribal tensions, and eventual civil unrest marked his regime. Charles Taylor, 1997 to 2003. Charles came to power after the First Liberian Civil War. His presidency was marred by human rights abuses and involvement in regional conflicts, leading to his exile. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, 2006 to 2018. Ellen is the first elected female head of state in Africa. She was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize and credited with post-war reconstruction and economic reform. George Weah, 2018 to 2024. Weah is a former international football star. He focused on education, youth development, and infrastructure, but faced economic challenges. Joseph Boakai is the current president of Liberia. Boakai took office promising anti-corruption measures and economic stabilization. He emphasizes national unity and development. This overview highlights the transition from Americo-Liberian dominance to indigenous leadership, civil conflict, and modern democratic governance. Liberia's natural resources are a significant part of its economy and development. The country is rich in minerals, including iron ore, gold, diamonds, and bauxite. These resources have been key contributors to the economy, with iron ore being the primary mineral export. The mining sector has seen a revival after the Civil War, and the government has put in place a new mineral development policy and mining code to attract foreign investments. Despite challenges such as governance, transparency, and environmental sustainability, Liberia's natural resources hold potential for economic growth and development. Rubber is a significant agricultural export, with Liberia being one of the world's leading producers of natural rubber.